What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the latest stories and rumors you need to know, including a depressing update on Shad Gaspard being missing, a huge WWE Backstage departure, and Martha Hart comments on Vince's decision to continue Over the Edge. Forget the intro, let's get straight into the top story, as there's been an update on Shad Gaspard being missing. Sadly, it's not good news. Unfortunately, there's been no news on Shad being found. As we reported earlier, Shad Gaspard was at Venice Beach with his wife and 10-year-old son. As Fox News reported today that they were in the 4200 block of Oceanfront Walk and that Shad was in the water with his son when suddenly a rip current forced them apart. Luckily, rescuers managed to get his son, but sadly, Shad had been missing ever since. Divers continued to search for Shad until 7:30 PM last night to no avail. Dave Meltzer gave the first report by getting in touch with a friend in California, and he provided an update tweeting, "Regarding Shad Gaspard, just heard from a friend at the location right now. It does not look good. They continued the search this morning, and no sign of him." A few hours later, Meltzer provided an even more depressing update by tweeting that rescuers are now packing up and have stopped the search. And this is incredibly sad news, and we don't have to spell it out to what this means. Still, let's maintain some positivity. Shad may have hopefully been washed up ashore somewhere along the coast. We can only pray for him and his family during this difficult time. Now, for those who are unaware, Shad was a hero on two occasions. One for alerting the Coast Guard to save his son first, and the second was in 2016 for helping to stop an armed robbery in Florida. Shad managed to shove and disarm the gunman and restrained him until the police arrived. Absolute hero. Again, our thoughts are with the Gaspard family, and we hope we hear some good news soon. Next up, a huge WWE Backstage departure. The WWE releases continue, and it's not just affecting the wrestlers, but also Backstage workers. However, some had made the decision to leave the company on their own accord. PW Insider reports that Vice President of Global Television Production Michael Mansouri left the company last week. This was confirmed by multiple sources. He gave his notice several months ago that he would depart in May. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Mansouri, he was reportedly a huge part of Triple H's regime, and many backstage called him the next Kevin Dunn. Kevin Dunn being the almighty god of television production. Mansouri had been with the company since 2009. There's been no word on what he wants to do next. And finally, Martha Hart comments on Vince's decision to continue the Over the Edge pay-per-view after Owen's death. Now, whilst Owen's death may have been accidental, many have still not forgotten Vince for his decision to continue airing the pay-per-view even after his death was announced on live television. Some believe he should have stopped the pay-per-view, and of course the audience would have understood given the fateful circumstances that occurred at the Kemper Arena. Owen's widow Martha Hart called it disrespectful and called Vince McMahon a poor leader. She spoke with CBS Sports and mentioned, "When Owen died, they scooped him out like a piece of garbage and they paraded wrestlers out to wrestle in the ring that had Owen's blood, where the boards were broken from Owen's fall and where the guys could feel the dip in the ring from where he fell. That's just disrespect and a lack of respect for a human life that has just been lost. The fact that they didn't stop the show is just appalling. Vince McMahon was a poor leader and he failed because that talent was looking for leadership and he failed them. Instead of Vince stopping the pay-per-view, he told the wrestlers there was no obligation to wrestle if they didn't want to, but that Owen would have wanted the show to go on. What do you guys think? Did Vince make the right decision? Should he have cancelled the pay-per-view? Let us know in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content."